What's going on? This is Andy, and I'm here today to give you some of my favorite selections as we take on the house once again over at No House Advantage. Here's how this contest works. You pick 5 player props correctly across all sports, and if you do that, you make 21 times your money. That's what they got going on over at No House Advantage. It's fantasy and player props rolled into one simple, easy-to-use platform. They have 2 different types of contests. This is the Versus the House contest. There's also the Pick'em contest, which is a tournament-style contest where the more props that you pick correctly, the higher you go in the standings and get closer to that top prize. But like I said, today we're going to be focusing on Versus the House, where we're going to pick 5 right. Although I'm going to be choosing from the NHL games, you can go across sports. You can take one from basketball, one from hockey. And if you get 5 right, you make 21 times your money. And for a limited time, if you go to No House Advantage using the link in the description of this video, they're going to match your first deposit up to $100. You put in 100, you get 100. That's a nice thing to say out loud. And then you start putting in some of these selections. My first selections are going to come from the Montreal Canadiens Detroit Red Wings game. Detroit is fighting for their life in the Eastern Conference playoff race. They got a win last game against the San Jose Sharks. Now they're going on the road to face a very beatable team in Montreal. And we got a couple players from that game that I'm happy to take over a half a point on. The first is Tyler Bertuzzi, and then the other is David Perron. The Canadiens aren't scaring anyone defensively, and when you show me 2 guys on Detroit who are crucial members of the offense and get significant power play time in a game they really need to win to stay alive in the playoff race, I think you're going to see some good offensive output from their key performers, which is why I'm going to take the over on points for both of those players. Then going over to the Pittsburgh-Washington game. Now, Pittsburgh didn't have Tristan Jarry the other night. They had to score 7 goals to win that one. So I think they know in order to win while they're dealing with issues in the net, they're going to have to score some goals. You need to score some goals. That means you need to get some shots on net. I'm looking for their captain, Sidney Crosby, to register over 2.5 shots on goal. And then one of his, power play line mates, Ricard, Rakell, I'm going to take the over on half of a point for him, just from that trickle-down effect of playing with one of the best distributors in the history of the game. So that's what I'll take over in the Pittsburgh game. And then lastly, I'm going to take Andrew Mangiapane to register a point. He had a big point in the last game that they played in that overtime win versus Columbus. Now you have another extremely beatable opponent coming into your building, Chicago, who's not just like Montreal scaring anyone defensively. And I think there's going to be a good opportunity, as the Flames have been scoring a little bit more, to register a point in that one. So I'm going to take the over half of 1 point for Andrew Mangiapane. And those are my picks as I try to take on the house on this Thursday. We will be back with you for NFL Pick'em and Versus the House going into this championship Sunday. And then next week, I'll be back with you for some Tuesday NHL Versus the House selections. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel here, and I will be back with you on Friday, Saturday, this weekend, as we look forward to those conference championships. Take it easy.